We are live. We are live.
Ayo, it's time to go. Yeah, you know what it is. Get into it. Don't act like you don't already know the name. Let's go. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? You heard me. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? I said you heard me. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? I said you heard me. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. Now it's over. Now
Woo! Hold on. Let me push this, move this button here. Wow. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to What Happens When a Mother and Son makes sense out of nonsense.
Plus more.
Plus, plus more. And this has been a hell of a morning. And we're just going to start off just like I'm starting off like I was shot out of a cannon, running around, getting angry, getting pissed off at people. And now I can't, now that I'm a happiness specialist, I know the truth that it's not about those people. I guess I just felt like being irritated this morning for no reason. Thanks a lot, universe.
Listen, I hear you, and it's not the first time, and it's probably not going to be the last. And I'm running around here too this morning, just trying to get things organized for the show, last minute, eating breakfast, scarfing it down, going quick, running around. Just that rushing energy, rushing vibes.
That rushing, and what is that I just haven't seemed to master not rushing around, because that rushing has an energy to it, and it just, for me, it just leads to irritation, annoyance. Anybody in my way, get out of the way. I teach a foam roller class every Saturday morning before the show, and of course they were complaining because the room was too cold. Now I have the house, my house is 58 degrees in here, and then one of the students, I told them to turn the heater up, which instantly put me into a, you don't have authority to tell them. I'm the instructor. I like it cold. And as soon as we start exercising, it's going to warm up anyway. So I was already irritated, but I can't use that as an excuse, Nathan. Help.
No, we can't. Well, I mean, this is why we're stuck, is we can't use anyone or any situation as an excuse or justification for our feelings. It's just we're feeling a certain way, and that's what it is. And the days of blaming and shaming and naming and playing these gamings are over.
Oh, don't tell me it's over. That's the thing. The practice is when I use the word because, I'm angry because, I'm annoyed because, and it's so perfect. But I have the excuse. It is these people. It is, uh, but it's not the truth. Guy Finley says the feel is real, but the why is a lie. I
And
hate him, by the way.
and we hate that. And our little pea brains coming up with some story is, there's no way that we could possibly come up with some reasoning for the mysteries of the universe and the mysteries of and the complexities of all of these energies coming together, and when they go off and when they're dormant, and why. I think I don't know if it's in our human nature or what, but this incessant, going back to our word of the week last week, but this incessant need to know why. Just why. I think in some ways it fuels our curiosity to expand and transcend, and in other ways it's just it's destructive.
Well said. Well said. Let's get to the show. That was a great introduction. And this show is about what? I think we just explained it, but can we explain it again?
Yeah, let's explain. So we talk about things like that. We talk about spirituality. We talk about transcending these feelings and thoughts and doing it together as mother and son. We've been doing this for a long time, and finding our way, and then finding our way back, and finding our way again. So that's what this show is about, and doing it together as a little family here.
The family of two at this moment. And I'm going to
Yeah.
say, to be specific, transcending the ego, transcending the human, transcending the program, not just transcending us, specifically a program. Because is it a program to ask why? Is that a program, or is and I get the curiosity, but it's a very it's a very thin line between ego and then just universal curiosity.
Yeah, that's such a good question. We can definitely dive into that. And then before we do our word of the week, I do want to touch on the nonsense part of our show and our title. Nonsense is very important to us. We take our nonsense very seriously.
Very
We-
seriously.
Very seriously. We
Very
have
seriously.
we have been doing nonsense since day one, and that's because of you. But I happen to love nonsense, silliness, falderall, balderdash, malarkey, and we got to sprinkle in a little nonsense because this stuff can get really serious really quickly.
Yes, the programming. And so I'll just a little insight. When Nathan couldn't even sit up. He was maybe 3 months old or 2 months. I don't remember, but I just remember sitting him up on this couch. It was a small couch. It was called the love seat. And I would sit him up, and he couldn't sit up on his own. And then I would just watch him slowly fall all the way over, and boop, and then I prop him up and watch him fall again. It was for my amusement.
Well, I like to believe that I was amused as well. And yes, amusement, that's when it started. I mean, propping up babies, watching the baby slowly tip over, and then we're tipping objects over in the kitchen, watching them fall, laughing at the dumbest, smallest, littlest thing, making a joke out of it. So that's part of us, and that's part of what happens on this show.
And let's go back. His last week's show was huge. It was behind the scenes, and we discussed why I blocked you on why I blocked you on my cell phone. But there was some last week business, because and I have to say, I don't really recommend our shows, but last week's show number 51, fire. We really dove deep. And why did I block him, and why did I cancel the show 2 weeks before? But just to go back, one of our things was, you don't visit me enough. Well, when I say visit, because I'm in Las Vegas and he's in California, but it wasn't about him not visiting enough. It was I just like being in your presence. And I do make the trip to California. I'm in California at least 4 times a year. So we do see each other more than just once a year. But to get this kid, because I love him so much and I love being around him. Oh, I would love for him to come at least 4 times a year to visit me. And then I visit him for 4 times. And that's 8 times a year I get to see him. Yay!
Well, as those numbers were getting higher and higher, I kept getting more anxiety. 4 times and 8 times. Well, but no, yes. So then, thank you for clearing it, because we did want to clear some things up. Last show was fire. We were diving in, and you just used the word why, and there is no why. Why you blah? Why we didn't have a show? Why? I mean, we could come up with one thing, one reason, maybe one, but it's all these different things coming together, and we still don't know the whole reason why.
Well, I'll say this, in bringing that up. Yes, it happened, and there was no reason. There- Can we practice not having reasons? Can we practice not attaching stories? Can we just experience this life without the stories? And that's my practice now, is to recognize the stories, just like clouds passing in the sky. Recognize them, but don't give them any power or focus or any truth. So we weren't supposed to talk for 4 days. Now we're talking. Next moment, period.
Yes, and even the clouds. Why do we have clouds? Why did the clouds go fast? Why did the clouds?
Enough. Word of the day.
I'll just wrap up my thought briefly, but I get it. This is a long intro, but it's a good intro. Why is the volcano erupting? Why is the volcano dormant? Why did it take 30 years instead of it? Just so many whys when it's just the way it rolls, all these different components coming together. The word of the week
The word of the week. It's on you.
is annoyance. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, oh.
Well, the word of the week for me is is concur. Concur. It's a verb. I do know the word, but I don't really use the word. And it is to be of the same opinion, to be in agreement with someone. So in those terrible, horrible, dark moments that I actually do agree with you, I would say, I concur with you, mother, on what you said.
Well, darling, I do know the word concur, and I concur on you using the word concur and bringing the word concur up. I've used it before. I concur, yes. And
Yes.
coincidentally, my word starts with a C too, and it is the opposite, which is controvert. What? Controvert, which is to deny, refute, or oppose, or argue or an opinion. Definitions of controvert: a rebuke, refute, disprove, concur, deny the truth. Subsequent work from the same laboratory controverted these results. So it's not the truth. Concur is agreement, and controvert is disagreement.
Disagreement. Well, I love when our words relate to each other in some way, shape, or form. So controvert, it reminds me of controversy. I don't know if that's a add-on to controvert. And then controvert, is it denying the truth or is it denying anything?
Let's see. Oh, the definition: deny the truth of something. To deny the truth, I don't believe you. To deny
Controvert.
the truth, argue about something. It's actually a legal word too.
Well, I love that word. Okay, well, we'll see if we can sprinkle those into our show today.
By the way, before we move on, let's like and subscribe. We're on YouTube Live. If you want to see our mugs, YouTube Live on Rebecca Norrington's YouTube channel, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. And our sponsor, where I'm looking for sponsors, is the same sponsor. I'm gonna keep doing this forever. Voss Water, VOSS, the wetter, better water. Voss, DM me and volunteer to be our sponsors. Thank you.
And I'll also reach out for a sponsor. What's in my cup today is called Morning Rise. It's a nice mushroom coffee replacement. If you don't want to drink coffee, it's got a lot of good things for gut health, gut bacteria, and it tastes pretty good. And another thing, Voss Water and Morning Rise, if y'all don't call us, we're going to have to be advertising something else pretty soon.
That's right. Don't let us leave you. You're going to lose out. And by the
Yeah.
way, if you're listening to us live on Noom Vibe, you can ask to join the show. Just ask to come up on stage. You know how that works. And again, we're live on YouTube. Moving on. Also, Program for Unhappiness, my latest book, Program for Unhappiness: Exposing the Untold Truth. You can find that on Amazon. And in this book, I list 56 program behaviors. Hey, 56 program behaviors that subtract from your happiness. And when I say happiness, I'm talking about an energy of contentment. So don't jump on me with this. I don't like happiness, I have joy. I'd rather use the word joy. Happiness is fleeting. It's an energy, okay, people? And my definition of happiness is the ability to maintain, sustain a vibration of peace, regardless of what happens. Can we start the show?
Well said. And yes, we don't want to get hung up on words because we all use all these words differently and using different languages to say and explain things that really can't be explained with words. So don't get caught up on the words. You know the vibe. And I love that cover every time you show that book.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, This is what I want to share. Yesterday, I was inspired to invite my sister to lunch, and I sent her. I called her, and then she didn't answer. So then I just sent her a text, and it was probably 8 o'clock in the morning. It was early, but I said, "No, I'm just inspired." And then she never responded, probably for about maybe 3 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours, 11:30, 12 o'clock. Well, I had already forgotten about it. I mean, I hadn't heard from her in a timely manner. And what I considered timely, nothing wrong with it. And I just said, I'm just going to move on. I'll make my own lunch. But because that's when she texted me back around 11:30, 12. Yeah, what time you want to go to lunch? And the moment, the window of inspiration was gone to have lunch with her. It wasn't personal, but so I want to talk about windows of inspiration when I'm inspired, and then it could be an hour, 2 hours without a story. I'm just not inspired again. And that's why, at least that scratch the why, that's why, but especially people in my close circle, it's not easy if you're programmed to not go with the flow, because I do a lot of stop, start, stop, start, and the window of inspiration was gone. Luckily for our relation, me and her, she's cool with me when I say no, thank you. I'm cool with her. So I just wanted to say that window of inspiration is real.
I really love that. It's very real, and it's helped me be able to adjust, cancel plans the day of, last minute, seconds before, and really give myself a break and give whoever else is involved a break too. And what I've done is, if I make an invite like you did, hey, do you want to do something, and I don't hear back in that moment or shortly afterwards, I have to tell myself, this was a, I don't know, like a temporary invite. It's not a permanent invite. Or sometimes there's been times where I've invited two different people to the same show, or like I have an extra ticket. Hey, do you want to go to the show? Hey, do you want to go to the show? And whoever gets back to me first is going to be in going. So
Oh,
if someone waits 3 hours to get back, oh yeah, I'm totally down. Well, it's already done. That window of inspiration, that window of opportunity is over for this.
sounds like a Seinfeld episode.
Yeah, it is. And I also do to help me out a check in the day of. So if I make plans to play tennis on Friday and it's Monday, I'll say I'll text you on Thursday to confirm, or Friday morning to confirm.
Yes.
So we
And so,
have we have plan. I consider them soft plans. We have soft plans, and then let's double confirm because things could change.
and that's what I want to bring up, this being this program of, I said something, I have to keep my word. That's strong. I said it, so I'm obligated to go through it. Well, for me, my energy that's compatible with me is flexible, always in flux. If I make a decision, and that's one of the reasons, I didn't mean to stop, but that's one of the reasons why I don't make future plans unless I'm getting on a plane. I don't know how I'm going to feel that day. And so and I give grace, and give the same opportunity for anyone else to change their mind. So this thing of changing your mind, wishy-washy, well, I'm here to applaud that, and give you a standing ovation. And especially when I'm in tune with, am I really still feeling this? Because sometimes the answer is no. And it's never personal to the other person. It's not personal. So get out of your feelings. Oh, you hurt my feelings. Oh, you made plan. Get over it, because your feelings are not my responsibility.
Ouch. That's pretty you're a tough cookie. And I will say, going back to our mother and son in this, we have really developed a lot of flexibility in making plans with each other, practicing this for years and years, visiting each other, saying we're going to go, even when I was staying with you in Oregon, if we talked about going out to dinner or sometimes even going for a walk. Remember, we would go for walks in Oregon, and I asked you, do you want to go for a walk at in a couple hours? And we said, well, I don't know, let's check in, let's see, let's feel it all out. And I said I would, but now I'm sitting here comfortable. And I think we've really practiced that flexibility. And for me, the other principle here is communication. So I can change my mind as long as for me, it feels peaceful for me if I'm communicating where I'm at. Like we talk about creating drama. For me, I can create drama by changing my mind, but then I'm not saying anything about it. I'm just
Mm.
waiting and waiting and waiting.
Now that's a good one. That's a good one. Changing your mind, but not having a conversation and not being honest and saying, I don't feel like it. And so this whole thing about you're obligated and you have to, and I'm talking about mother and son, especially when I do come to California. That's one of our things. If I see him, I see him. I'd love to see him, but if I don't, it's not personal. And that's just a program, taking things personally and putting the other and putting an obligation on the other person or a guilt trip on the other person that they have to keep their word. I don't know, but anybody tries to do that with me, see you later, alligator. I've gone to another planet. That I'm just not compatible with that. And I just the ability just to flow. And I love that about you, and I love that about us. Next topic.
Yeah, I do too. Well, I had holidays on topic just because it's holiday December holiday season. I mean, there's always some holiday running around, and I think holidays are a big part of our transcendence, you and me, and how we do holidays and celebrating holidays, sometimes not on the day, sometimes not celebrating it at all, sometimes with gifts, sometimes not with gifts. I mean, the way we do holidays really is a little different each year, whether it's a birthday, a national holiday. And I love that flexibility. To me, that's a sign of going with the flow, the evolution, and having the holidays the same every year, and getting a gift, and there's something that feels a little like it feels a little like confined to me.
Obligation heavy in the holidays. I was talking about this on my own show last week, reality spirituality, heard every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. live, about this expectation around holidays, and these people that they get depressed or they get anxious or they get worried or whatever it is, lonely around holidays. That's just a big program of how I'm supposed to behave, what I'm supposed to do around a holiday. Talk about herd animals and just following the crowd. Well, I ain't a herd animal, and neither is you. And about our relationship. I remember when you first went to New York to live, and it was still stuck. Got to do holidays, got to celebrate Thanksgiving, got to celebrate Christmas together. And there was one time when you couldn't come home, and we celebrated Christmas in January. The point is this: be mindful of how these holidays are. There's so many deep programs, and I'm done. It could be my birthday tomorrow, and my birthday's last month. It could be Christmas in July. It could be Thanksgiving in August. And that's how you and I do this. A certain day, it's no, we've already rejected that whole uh, the whole program of following a script on a certain day, like a herd animal. No offense.
Yeah, and this underlying piece, like you said in your book, what do you even mean by happiness? It's this underlying, always there piece that there is something deeper, more real, more honest going on than just these whys and these people and these situations and these emotions always shifting, the waves above the ocean. There's something more yeah, more real going on. And just because it's a holiday, I want to maintain that because I have been sad with people and without people. I've been lonely with people. I felt that energy of that loneliness vibration when I'm with someone and when I'm alone. And I've also felt totally fine and content with someone and without someone. So for me to attach a story, oh, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Well, I don't know about that because I would like every day to be the most wonderful day of the most wonderful moment of the moment
And let's break it out. It's the most wonderful time of the
of the
year.
year. Well, now that you say that, I there is something there is something special. It's a season. I just look at holidays as a season, just like now a season where nature is changing. It's colder now. It's warmer now. It's the leaves are falling. The flowers are blooming.
Okay, next topic.
Terrible. You're terrible.
I'm so bad.
Well, what do you have? Do you have anything?
Yes, I do. I do have something. And you called me when I was visiting you last week. I went to his apartment. I
My
love
husband.
his apartment, darling. I went to your apartment with my two little granddaughters,
Yes.
Lexi and Luna, who happen to be some two black cats. And I hated cats until my son adopted two little sisters. Anyway, back to the story. Oh, throwing away trash. Now, this is part of the nonsense of the show.
Oh.
My son was he was chastising me, bullied, shaming me.
I controverted the way you threw your trash away.
Yes, he did. And so he thinks that there's something wrong with me. So I have a
I
piece of
do.
paper
I
and I
piece of paper.
either and it's going to be trash, whether it's my notes. I'll give you an example. I'm holding up a piece of paper right now if we're on YouTube. So I'll give you an example. Holding up a piece of paper and either I tear the piece of paper up, I tear it up, or I ball it into a little ball and then I throw it away. I never throw just a smooth piece of paper, a non-balled up, non-torn up piece of paper in the trash. And he said, something's wrong with you. Why you're so aggressive with the trash? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, well, I didn't say what's wrong with you, but I did say I might have been thinking it though, but it is very aggressive. Wow, what an aggressive way to throw away. Always tearing things up, balling things up, putting things, and if she can't do it herself, she'll use a paper shredder. I mean, just this destruction of paper, and so I think the right way to throw up, and I did also bring a piece of paper that we will be going in the trash. I'm going to
Oh,
take this piece of paper. I will calmly and gently and respectfully walk over to the trash and place it in the trash container. And that's that.
calmly and respectfully. What are you talking about? Violence. So there's the violent trash thrower away, and then the calm.
So
What?
listen, if there was ever a time we wanted to hear from viewers or hearing from callers, I think hearing about how you throw your trash away would be a great topic of conversation.
And I will say that only if you agree with me do I want to hear from you. And if you agree with
Oh.
him, keep your comments to yourself. So, but it's interesting how you look at me throwing trash away as violent, and then there is a more peaceful, but there's something about violent. I mean, I'm thinking about a football game. There's gotta be some violence to it.
That's right. There just have to be some fire, some aggression, fire, heated energy. Yes, and that's all you.
And that's why I'm the boot camp instructor and you're the yoga instructor.
Hmm. Well, I love that little fall drawl.
Do you
I
have something?
Yeah, well, the other thing I have, this is actually written down from last week, but I said it all comes down to loving self. And I think this transcendence, what do we even mean by transcending? What do we mean by evolving? And part of that for me is really accepting the body I was given, accepting the emotions that I experience, my triggers, my personality, my all the things that make up Nathan. If Nathan was a painting. And I think my goal in transcending is to love this body, love this human body and everything that comes with it. When it seems like a failure, seems like a success, when I made a joke that made people laugh, made a joke that don't laugh. It's just over and over and over coming back to that energy of love, which is really acceptance, I think.
Yes, I'm gonna because I don't like using the word love. It's overused. Scratch that. Not that it's overused, but the real energy of love is acceptance, total acceptance. So acceptance is easier for me to focus on. Yeah, acceptance of self. And listen, at 69 years old, don't tell anybody. This skin hanging and oh my goodness, the skin hanging. I just don't, what the hell is that about? My skin used to be taut. And I just, if it's an angle, it just falls and slips. I accept it, but I ain't wearing no sleeveless clothes. But I definitely accept it. Did I say that out loud? No, I definitely accept it. It is an acceptance of all stages of life, all stages. And speaking about fun, we were talking about fun or funny.
Yes.
I was given an opportunity to do a 3 minute. It's coming up in January at Podfest. If anybody's going to Podfest, I'll be there at the Owl booth. It's a 3 minute open improv comedy stand up, and I've never done that before. And I'm excited well, I'm not excited. I know the future excitement, but I am curious to see because I think I'm funny. And my son has helped me with how to construct a joke. And I want to give you if possible, something that I came up with, if you don't mind.
This is perfect. This is
Okay.
absolutely perfect content.
So I'm practicing. Okay, so here the set, because he told me it's setup and then punchline, setup, punchline. Okay, so the setup is, you know how these gurus, the Tony Robbins, talk about what did they say? Limited beliefs, and scale over, go beyond the limit. You're the only limits are yourself. So, okay, fine. So yesterday I'm at Sprouts and I'm buying things that never go shopping when you're hungry. And of course I bought these little muffins, those little muffins, a blueberry, I had carrot, banana, they're little muffins. And I ate, and I was partying last night, so I was particularly excessively hungry. Get it? Wink wink. With my partying. So I was hungry and I ate 4 of those muffins. They were 4. I was going to have 2 and 2. I ate 4 muffins. And then I said, well, I don't have that problem of limited beliefs. I'll eat 4 muffins.
I like it. I think there's something there. It didn't elicit a laugh just yet, but there is something there. I think the setup was a little long. I mean, you took me on a kind of a little windy, okay, Tony Robbins, yes, Limitless. Now we're at Sprouts. We're still at Sprouts. So I just think just setup and then you've got it. Shorter
And
setup.
but so the punchline is supposed to be, I wrote it down.
Yeah, I think there's
The
punchline
punchline
is close too.
the punchline is the punchline, oh gee. The punchline is I'm not especially being spiritual. I don't have those limited beliefs. I ate 4 muffins, but
Yeah,
yeah, it
I
has
love.
to be funnier.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, I know I definitely don't have limiting beliefs because I had 10 muffins. I mean, you can exact.
Okay, I can do that.
And maybe for the sake of comedy, we do use the word because, or we do have a why, and or you can set it up. You can set it up. Say, I've been so, you know, not worried. I mean, this isn't you, but I've been so worried about limiting beliefs because I'm spiritual and I've been hearing in the spiritual community, watch out for your limiting beliefs. But I realized that I really don't have those because I was eight muffins. Yes, I mean I don't know how you set up the muffins, but yes.
Yeah, I gotta. Yeah. So, but anyway, that's what I'm working on, and stop with the standing ovation because I can see all of you now. You're welcome. But yeah, I've got to be funny for 3 minutes.
Well, you are funny. Well, you don't have any problem being funny. It's just the medium of performance of now we're doing jokes. Now everyone's waiting for the punchline.
Yes. Okay. Well, then, and then I could even say that I know you're waiting for the punchline that's never going to come.
Now that's funny.
Is
I
it
mean,
really?
if you say, "Hey, I know I'm up here doing comedy, and I know you're expecting a punchline, but 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 I'm not a comedian that does punchlines, so
Now that's funny.
that's funny.
Now that's funny. I'm not a comedian that, in fact,
So stop waiting.
I'm the type of comedian that doesn't make you laugh.
Now I thought about that for me too. So that's my idea.
Okay. Maybe we can do a mother and son on the road comedy show.
Well, now we're talking.
Okay.
But the only thing
Okay.
is we'd have to be hanging out together all the time.
Oh, I love that. Let's go. Let's do it. When do we start?
She's acting like I never bother her. She's acting like I never annoy her.
You
Like
don't.
I, and
I
that's
know
what she says.
I bother you, but you don't annoy me.
It's so easy to annoy you if I really wanted to.
Really?
Don't you think?
No. Give me a no. Tell me. How would you annoy me?
Well, I'm not going to tell you how I would. I just would bother you. All you have to do is just make your face go down, and bleh, bleh. It's so easy. I
Well,
just like being nice to you these days.
that's a switch.
Now that's funny.
Well, I will say that before the show because I was rushing around, and then you send me a text. I'm in the room now. I'm here on the room waiting for you. I'm thinking I'm coming. What do I have to? What? I'm in the room now.
That's right. That's right. And it sounds like it did bother you.
Well, how about this? That didn't bother me. I was already annoyed and I can't attach a story to it. So I was already annoyed and that just added to the annoyance, but it wasn't you personally.
Well, I concur with that. And I will say, yeah, well, that's so true. No, we don't have a why for why we're annoyed. And the really terrible thing about us is when I try to bother you, you don't get bothered. And when I'm just doing me, sending you an innocent little text, just making sure, because sometimes the rooms, if you're in another room, there's been times, technical things. Now,
Yawn. I'm if you can't see us on Noom, I'm yawning right now.
and I'll continue. And sending you an innocent little text, and then you're bothered by that. So it's just, there's just no way out here.
There is no way. Well, maybe we could have a contest.
Who can bug the other one the most? That's all we ever do.
That's all. But you would lose again. We have a running contest, the 1, 2, 3 stare out. And we stare at each other, and the person that laughs first, of course, loses, or smiles first loses. I'm the champion on that one.
Well, we do 1, 2, 3 stare out. We could also do 1, 2, 3 bug out, where you bug the other person until they're really bugged.
I can do that to you easy. You don't
Yeah,
want me to
I
do
can't
that.
play that game.
No, you would lose every time.
Well,
Oh, let me look at my notes. Rough versus gentle. Rough versus soft and gentle. Always inquire, waver. Mm.
And I'll gently remind our audience that we are starting to wrap up the show. So if you have any last minute calls, any last minute things you want to come in, we are going to land this plane in the next couple minutes.
We are going to land the plane. So if you want to ask a question on Noom Vibe, you're welcome to join the stage. Yes. This is what I want to share at the end. This is something personal, that my ego knows exactly what carrot to wave in front of my face to make scratch that, to encourage, to give the ego a voice, to give the ego a behavior. Because when I'm taken over, allowing the ego, to speak for me and behave for me. And yesterday was a deadline. It was a court deadline. I mean, if you have a court case in appellate course, that's a serious thing. That's by the masses. That's a big thing. That's a big deal. But my ego doesn't care about something like that. But you know what my ego does care about is somebody cutting my hair, giving me the wrong haircut. So I just want to put more of a focus on, this is an individual game. We are as different as our fingerprints. And what the for me, thinking that something is serious always already takes me down a road of heavy energy. Oh, this is serious. And only the Rebecca Norrington entity, she's got her carrots. And when I know that I'm taking something seriously, I know that it's time to practice shifting and just relaxing with it. And it's all meaningless anyway.
Yeah, I just fully relate. I'll just add on with that program and how it's so individual, and it really is a self-programming. And it is up to me to identify what are those triggers for me, because they're not going to be the same for other people. And me comparing and saying, well, other people don't get upset at this, and I shouldn't any of that. It's just, it really is a self-reflective thing. And I have my carrots too, and it's very helpful to know what they are, or to know, yeah, to see them as a carrot, and to see them, wait, hold on, this is tempting me, just like it's tempted me so many times before, to really just lose my composure, lose my connectivity, my perspective, and yeah, to put my blinders on. So, and I love that example of your hair with the court case, because that's another program. Well, this is important to everybody, and this isn't as important. Well, to me, it might be something different. So I got to really be focused on what's going on with me.
And the carrots are custom made. The carrots are custom made, and wanting somebody else to think what I think is important is important. It's just not. That's another practice, is to accept all of these people with what they think is important to them. And but it's my practice to accept them. And it starts with accepting self.
And even the spirituality stuff, and spirituality is important to me, and it should be important to other people, and they should be doing it the same way, and they should be talking the same way. I mean, that's a big one for me too. It's easy to compare and have some kind of story or judgment around that, and just letting everybody and everything do what it's already doing, and let
Hmm.
me do what I'm doing.
Woo.
Yes. And just a little guest spot here.
Oh,
You put
Luna.
jump
Hi,
on.
Luna girl. Oh,
Yeah.
my little girl. She looks so cute. Hi, Luna girl. Oh, I'm one of those people. Hi, Luna girl.
Well, thank you so much for listening. If you're still listening out there or looking at us, and if you have something to say or add, well, we'll just have to wait till the next show here.
Next week. I'm just looking at my comments. Okay. Somebody just said, hi. Oh, what's your YouTube handle? It's Rebecca Norrington. Of course, the show's over now. Oops.
It's
I have to put,
Rebecca Norrington is your YouTube page.
yes, my YouTube channel, Rebecca.
And
Just
my And mine is Nate Balance. Nate Balance. I have some fitness videos. I just posted a sound bath, a mini sound bath meditation. It's a 10-minute sound bowl and 5-minute meditation. If you're looking for that, Nate Balance on YouTube.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kristen Brown, for that question. Yes, Rebecca Norrington and Nate Balance. I'm going to get on that YouTube channel as soon as this show is over. See, I never know anything. I don't know his names, his secret names
Well, that's
online.
it's all new. It's all, you know, this is all in the works. So
Well, let's go, baby. Let's go. It's going to
yes,
be me and you to the moon. Let's go.
let's do it.
No, me and you to Uranus. Let's go.
Oh, that's right.
Pluto.
All right. And with that being said,
Join us every week. It's every Saturday, 9:15.
we're here.
We're live.
We're live.
Live.
Later, Gators.
It's
Hey
time
yo,
to go.
it's time to go. Yeah. You know what it is. Get into it. Don't act like you don't already know the name. Let's go. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? You heard me. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? I said you heard me. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? I said you heard me. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. Now it's over. Now let's listen.